In this video, we're going to show you how to knit in the round. So rather than knitting flat where you knit back and forth, you're going to knit in loops. So here you can see we've got all of our stitches cast onto our needles, but we actually need to get the rest of the stitches on the other needle. So in order to do this, we split our work roughly in half and pull the tube that connects the two needles through your work. And this way it will push the stitches on the left-hand side all the way down to the needle so that you can connect them and start knitting in circles. It might get a little bit snug when you get down to the needle end, but that's okay because once you start doing your rib, your stitches will naturally loosen on those needles. So one watch out is we want to make sure that our work isn't twisted. So here you can see on the left-hand side that we've accidentally twisted the work. So all you have to do is flip it over and make sure you've got a nice straight edge of those cast on stitches in the middle. So you just want not one big circle like this. So now we're ready to start connecting our stitches. So make sure that your needle that is connected to the ball is in your right hand and your other needle is in your left hand. A handy hack here is to cast on an extra stitch and then slip it onto your left needle like this, and then knit your first two stitches together. So this creates a really nice snug join between the two separate ends of your first loop. So when you're casting on, cast on an extra stitch, and this way they're nice and joined already, which you can see. Otherwise it can be a little bit tricky. And so now we're just going to do our rib like normal. So now we're going to purl a stitch, and then pull our wool through to the back and then knit a stitch. And then we'll continue to do our rib stitch until we get to the end of our loop. So you can see that we're almost at the end of our first loop. So we've got 2 stitches left. So we're going to do a knit stitch now, and then a purl stitch. So rather than rows, when you're knitting in loops, it can be a little bit tricky to know when to start or finish a row. So what we like to do is use a stitch marker, and this can be something as simple as a rubber band, a hair tie, or anything that you can slip over your needles. You can even use a safety pin and pin it onto your first stitch. But then you just start knitting as normal. You can get a little bit stuck, but just knit like normal, and then you know when you've hit the end of the row. So all you have to do when you get to that point is slip your stitch marker from your left needle back onto your right, and then just continue to knit in loops for the desired amount of rows.